What is Gucci, everybody? I hope you guys are having a great day. I haven't made a video in a long time. The reason because is my computer screen is broken. So this is just gonna be a vlog of me. I actually can't see most of my screen just because I dropped something on it and some of the screen is broken. But that's about it. I hope everyone is having a Gucci day. What I want to talk about in this video is what I've learned this past year. This is supposed to be my birthday video. It's coming about 2 weeks late because it's about to be March 2nd. My birthday was February 18th. Fast fact, I have this bottle. Amazon sent me a random package that was this bottle that I didn't order, so I'm using it right now. Thank you, Amazon. I probably should send it back, but I won't. That's just the way I am. So, this year was a great year. I did a lot of reading, definitely read more books probably in this 1 year, in the last 6 months that I did in my lifetime, just because I got into kind of the self-development culture and didn't realize how deep the rabbit hole went on self-development, and especially some issues that I've yet to completely master and some things that I really still suck at. But what I wanted to take a minute is to talk about everything that I learned this year. And the most important thing I want to talk about is habits. And habits define who you are. And I think everyone knows this, and that's why self-development is such a very hard topic, is that I feel that on a very basic level, everyone knows what they need to do. Everyone knows they need to brush their teeth, they need to clean their room, they need to, go to the gym, they need to study for that test, everyone basically knows what they have to do to get to their point B, or at least thinks they know what to do, has that task that either they're doing or they're not doing. For instance, for me, I've set some goals that I haven't really gotten as far as I wanted to. I want to get a six-pack. I want to learn how to speak Spanish. And I'm going to do a few other things that I won't mention yet, that are secret projects right now, okay? And so, one thing that I started doing when I moved to Austin, Texas, which I guess now it's officially I finished my 2 months there, 2 months here, it's March 1st, is that I joined CrossFit. And whoa, Nelly, CrossFit is a huge workout regimen. So I would say I'm kind of a fit guy. I'm not a strong guy, but I did running very competitively for 3 years and then on and off throughout college. And I ran a marathon last year, slow marathon, but I can run. That's about it. And let me say, if you think you're an athlete, CrossFit will test you. The very essence of CrossFit is to find your weaknesses. You do you do various different workouts every time. So you can do weightlifting to body workouts, so like body weight workouts, so just raw pull-ups, or you can do squats or overhead squats, which is when you lift the bar above your head and then do a squat, and that can be very challenging. The one thing, so I had not weightlifted before, not weightlifted on this level before, and something I did not realize is weightlifting is very flexibility dependent. So like, for instance, being able to stick both your arms completely above yourself at a, perpendicular, straight up with a bar is actually pretty difficult. I was not able to do my first day. And able to squat perfectly without making your feet too wide or too inwards is hard too. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, CrossFit is difficult. If you think you're a real athlete, do CrossFit. It will round you very well. It's very good at rounding your athletes, and it will pinpoint your weaknesses. But I started doing CrossFit. I need to slow down. I started doing CrossFit, and it was very interesting watching my progress in the last 2 months. I would say I haven't gotten that much stronger, even though I feel a lot better, and I love going to the workouts. But it got me reading about sports psychology and basically how your body responds to muscles. If you didn't know, when you go to a gym, basically what happens is that when you lift or when you work out, you destroy the muscle. And later on, when your body recovers, it rebuilds the muscle at a better at a better case. So it at a better pace. So I don't know how to explain this. At it basically builds the muscle back a little bit better, so it doesn't get ripped as much as your time. AKA, your body is reacting, is adapting to the stress you put on it. So you made your body lift 100 pounds. You made your arms lift 100 pounds when you haven't done that before. So your body says, okay, now when we recover, let's make our muscles strong enough so that doesn't hurt us, that doesn't leave us as sores next time, because we'll be doing that activity many more times. And so when you lift 105 pounds, 110 pounds, your body adapts and you get stronger. Thus, that is muscle gain. So you actually get stronger after the workout, not during it. This is why eating well is so important, because you then give your body the right nutrition to adapt, the right proteins, not as many carbs, not as many sugars, the right vegetables, so that your body can adapt accordingly. This word adaptation led me to kind of my current mindset in my life right now. The word adapt, I think, also goes along with the word evolved. I'm doing this off the cusp, so excuse me if my language is bad. But evolution and adaptation are kind of the essence of who you are as a human being. And your ability to adapt, I would say, probably governs how well you're going to do in your life. And what I mean, and what taught me this, is this example. So when you're at the gym, let's say you have two people, and on day one, they both start lifting. And one person lifts, you both lift 100 pounds one time. Let's say you bench press it. On day two, person A decides to bench press 101 pounds or 105 pounds, whatever. And on the other day two, person B decides to bench press 100 pounds twice. And you see where I'm going? One goes for essentially quality, tries to go to 110 pounds, 150 pounds. One goes for quantity. It tries to do 50 sets of 100 pounds. So then 2 months go by, or let's say a year goes by, and eventually person A can do 200 pounds can do a 200 pound bench press, and person B can do 100 reps at 100 pounds, or whatever you think the equivalent of that is. It doesn't really matter. Now the question is, who got stronger? Many people, I think, would ask that question, is who got stronger? And many people could make a fair argument, I would say, of the classic quality versus quantity. Oh, well, he got stronger because he can now lift 200 pounds, while person B can only really just do the same thing multiple times. Well, the answer is really kind of more fuzzy than that, or more clear than that. And the answer for me now, after reading weightlifting and kind of me applying this to life, is that they both got stronger. Both of the people got stronger. And with muscle growth and with your mind and body adapts to the stresses you put on it. So person A put the stress of blunt force on them. He kept trying to upgrade the weight and just had to do one rep. He stressed himself for the quality. He stressed himself for higher weights. Person B stressed himself for endurance. He stressed himself so he could lift it 100 times. So in turn, they both got good. They both of them adapted to the stresses they put their body under. And that's all your body does. All your body does, and it's so awesome that it does this, is it adapts to the stresses you put it under. You wonder why you're not good at math? Because you probably don't stress your body with more complicated math problems. When people plateau in many things, maybe people plateau with conversation skills or getting to know each other, or weightlifting. Obviously, let's say you run. It's very easy to plateau when you run, because you can monitor, your mile time. And you can say, oh, I haven't improved my mile time, so you haven't plateaued. I used to run a lot. So when you plateaued. And I plateaued my last senior year of high school, which I really wanted to do well in. And basically what's happening is you're saying, your body's like, okay, I've been here before. I've adapted to my stress. I don't need to do anything different. I don't need to repair myself. I don't need to get better. I don't need to evolve. And because your body knows this, it doesn't do anything. And that is, in a way, I was reading this book. Oh God, what is this called? It's called The Red Queen, which is basically, it formulates how evolution occurred among humans. And it's based on a lot of things. I haven't finished it yet. But essentially, the primary purpose of DNA is to figure out how to save time and energy. So your DNA or your human instinct will only kick in if it absolutely has to. So for instance, if it feels in danger, or if it feels like it is going to die if it doesn't adapt, is when it is most likely to evolve or stimulate a response to the situation. So like if it felt that, if you didn't get smarter in your environment, you were not going to find a viable mate because everyone had evolved to look for smarter mates. So then your body would kick in and say, I need to respond to these stresses of studying. I need to learn more. I need to adapt. And so obviously, I think this is seen best in your body because when you run or when you lift, you actually see these changes. You say, hey, I used to be able to run a 6-minute mile. Now I can run a 5-minute mile. There was an actual numerical change. With your mind, at least when you're looking at things, it's much harder to monitor your mind. Like, have you gotten more confident in life? That may be really hard to actually put a numerical value on because you don't know if you've gotten better unless you can measure it, right? So a lot of things in the mind may be hard to measure, even though I think many smart people are working on being able to do that. So that's kind of what I kind of learned really in the last month of just CrossFit in the gym. So your body best responds to only when you put on stress. So I took that gym thing and I thought about my Spanish. So I've been trying to learn Spanish, I'd probably say for the last 5 months actually, and I try to study every day. Sometimes I don't. And I'm probably not that much better than I was 3 months ago, honestly. I've just learned a few more verbs. I haven't really learned how to do a conversation in Spanish. And that kind of leads me back to the point where my body isn't in a deep state of stress where it's like, AJ, you need to learn this Spanish. You're stuck in Mexico. People are going to kidnap you if you can't talk to them or communicate with them that you need a place to live, you need to know where the bathroom is, and you need to eat some food, la comida. That's why I think, like, everyone tells you, I don't know, it sounds very obvious, but anyone tells you, if you want to learn a language, just live in that country. Well, that goes along with my theory where if you lived in that country, the stress to learn that language would be very high, and your body would be like, or your mind, body, spirit, soul, would be like, yo, you need to adapt. You need to learn this language now, or else you're not going to have friends, you're going to be unhappy, you're not going to have food, and you're just going to have an overall bad time because it knows what it was like to live in America, to live in your native country where you just speak all the time. And so that's why I think things like that are great. So think about, what situations you're putting on yourself where you're actually going to be able to stress. And I think that's where a lot of people fail, is that they don't create an environment that suitably stresses them out, that suitably stresses their body for the right kinds of gains. For instance, I don't know. For instance, you can stress yourself out. You can I don't know where I'm going now. I've lost my thought. Basically, that's all I'm saying is that if you don't your body responds to what you stress it to. If you feel that learning Spanish is a do or die matter, you're going to learn it better than me, who's just trying to learn it at home for fun and doesn't really have any incentive except one day he wants the vacation in Mexico. And if you want to get fit, obviously the guy who has to chase down deers to feed his family every day is going to get more fit than the guy who can just order McDonald's every day, and the only incentive he has to get fit is so that he looks good in a bathing suit for Christmas. And that in essence is survival of the fittest. I think Charles Darwin coined that phrase. He was right. I don't know. It's interesting that I just now realize that saying survival of the fittest shows up so much more in life than I thought it did. You thought maybe it just shows up in, growing wings. So that's the thing, is that humans, you're not going to evolve to grow wings, even though some people train so much physically, it seems like they're different human beings than us. you won't, if you want to learn how to fly, maybe you don't learn to grow wings, you learn how to get smart, so you build an airplane like the Wright brothers. Now, this is how I found out most of my life works. I respond to stresses. So I respond to maybe, oh, someone's going to beat me in a race, or someone's going to do something like this. But some people, I don't think I'm one of them, are able to push themselves with no one else watching. And this is when I think you get people like Elon Musk, like Michael Jordan, who really would just dominate if there was no kind of award system or no kind of, oh, I'm going to give you $1 million. They're just that driven. And I've always wanted to meet those people, because I've always wondered how they work. Just how do you keep on going even when you're kind of the DNA or your evolution saying, just chill out. You've got your millions of dollars, you've got your championships, you've got your women. You don't need to do anything else. Because I think that's when a lot of failure happens. In a weird way, it's so amazing, because what pushes you to be successful is your failure, is the fact that you start off at this lower pedestal and you want to get up to this higher pedestal. But then eventually you get so successful, and it happens to so many people. It happened to 50 Cent, MC Hammer, whoever you want to see. Just pick any star who's risen and fallen, a lot of people. And essentially they get comfortable, they stop practicing, and they lose their edge. And that is what makes them fall, is that they get comfortable, they stop adapting, they stop evolving, they stop being the fittest, and they lose. And by fittest, I mean whatever in their concept, whatever's in their realm. So if they were the best rapper, the best athlete, the best physicist, whatever, they get comfortable. And that's, whenever I look at anyone who is really successful year after year after year, is that they always approached it like they need to get better. Like every year they came back better. When I read Michael Jordan's biography, and everyone said that every year, even after they won the championship, he got better. He averaged like 37 points. He got better at passing. He got better at his free throw shooting. He got better at, just his mental game. And he just, every time he realized somebody was on his heels. And I think that's what drives so much. What drives people, what drives someone who's really driven, is they know at any day they can be beat, that someone can beat them. And to actually get that mindset until it happens to you is very difficult, I think. I think it's very difficult to have that mindset without actually knowing someone's chomping at your heels. Someone's there every day. I'll end this video here right now, but something I also didn't think about that I really have not come close to mastering is a book I really read that is a book by Eckhart Tolle. He also has another book called The New Earth, I believe, but the book I read was called The Power of Now, and it's basically all about you need to live in the moment, and that all you have is the moment. If you think about the past, you're thinking too much and you waste time. If you're thinking about the future, again, you're not focused on the now, and the now is the only thing you can control. I can make some nice symbols, I can talk to the mic, I can watch my YouTube video, which I have in front of me, but the now is the only thing you have. So like if you're gonna tell your mom you love her, tell her right then. If you're gonna make that big decision to quit your job, make it right then, or like commit to it. Like the only thing you have to do is now. And if you have to push it off till later, then don't worry about it. Don't let it grind your teeth. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to make some programming tutorials if any of my programming peeps are watching this. But I made this for my friends, and I hope everyone has a great year. I hope if you have goals, you set them. You don't need a New Year's anniversary to set them, and that you become focused. You align your inner compass, and you become congruent in who you are and what you want, and that you apply the appropriate stress to yourself to learn what you need, and you don't get complacent. Because the enemy of success is complacency. Toodles.